Good morning, everyone. This is your MacRace update. We're going to look at positions of the boats and the weather across the lake this morning. This is the full fleet as seen on the race tracker, and you can see we've got a nice spread of boats now from the area just passing between Michigan and the Manitous, and then the back of the fleet here is just north of Milwaukee. So a pretty decent spread, but the routes have been pretty similar. We don't have a lot of outliers. Most of the boats have made their way up into the center of the lake and then headed over to the Michigan shore. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that this is a very light race. There aren't a lot of options here except to kind of shorten the distance to the mark. There are some boats which are searching out some options over toward the western side of the lake and the Wisconsin shore, and it'll be interesting to see if this pays benefits. Of course, you have to sail a lot further by heading over there, but if the wind works out for you, you can sort of do an end run around the rest of the fleet, which may be in lighter wind conditions. So let's take a look at the weather. We'll come back to the boats here in a second. The current conditions across the lake show that we had some light rain move across the lake late yesterday, and this morning we see some most of that rain now well out to the east and to the southeast. There is an area of showers, maybe an embedded thunderstorm moving through the central part of the lake, and that's kind of playing havoc with the wind field at the moment. The southern part of the lake, sort of southern half of the lake, is pretty much clear at the moment. Some scattered clouds, but no rain. We've got a low pressure area sitting across east central Illinois here. This is interesting because was originally forecast to pass a bit further to the north up across the southern part of the lake. It has actually ended up going well to the south, and that's why we have this area of thunderstorms down here moving across Indiana and Ohio. We're going to watch this area of thunderstorms across Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. At the moment, it doesn't look like this, although this area is kind of moving to the east and southeast, at the moment it doesn't look like this will hold together past sunrise this morning. I think it'll probably weaken and may bring some showers again to the northern part of the lake, but that's about it. During the day today, we'll see some thunderstorms and some showers develop over Wisconsin, and those may move into the lake later this afternoon and this evening. At the moment, I'm not expecting anything severe. It looks like everything will be sort of in the form of lighter showers and maybe an embedded thunderstorm, but again, at the moment, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything severe. Current wind field, let me put that up here. Wind field on the lake. It's rendering here. We've got an interesting situation. Winds are generally pretty light, and just refresh this. There we go. This is for about 5 a.m. this morning, 5 a.m. Central Time. And remember, I pointed out this area of showers and thunderstorms up across about 2/3 of the way up the lake, and you'll notice underneath those the winds are quite light and variable. We've got arrows pointing pretty much in all directions there. To the south there is a northerly flow. It's actually east right on the Michigan shore according to the observations, and then it turns more north, northeast, and north out on the lake. Lighter winds at the moment over on the Wisconsin side. To the north of this area of showers, we have basically sort of south-southwest winds blowing. The boats that have entered into the Manitous Straits area up just in here have actually gone into very light conditions. Winds there at the moment are pretty much calm, just and quite patchy as well. So as we go forward in the forecast here, we'll see that the wind field actually improves a little bit and tends through the morning hours, tends to get a little bit stronger up in the northern section of the lake, sort of edging up into the low to mid-teens up in this section. So if some of those boats out in that are trying to get to the west can get into this pressure, they're going to actually benefit somewhat. The lighter winds are going to remain along the Michigan shore, and that northerly that's blowing down in this section here just gradually weakens away, and we get sort of this southerly wind redeveloping. Now for this afternoon, the forecast is calling for a lake breeze to develop, so the wind turns onshore on the Michigan side, and light winds move out more into the center of the lake down through here, and then on the Wisconsin side the wind turns south-southeasterly to blow onshore there. Still pretty light and patchy and quite variable. Again, you can see the wind arrows are pointing in many different directions here, and that's going to make for very tricky conditions going forward. Through the rest of the afternoon, we'll see that lake breeze enhance a bit on the Michigan shore, so we can see that the winds are increasing up in this area here with lake breeze. They're also increasing into the Wisconsin and Upper Peninsula shores with lake breeze, and it's getting a little bit lighter where the wind is diverging between those two lake breezes. And then this evening, so this would be about 5 or 6 o'clock tonight, the lake breeze becomes more prominent on the Wisconsin shore, but most of the pressure is actually onshore. It's starting to get lighter on the lake by this time already. Meanwhile, the Michigan lake breeze starts to collapse pretty quickly, and it gets very light and shifty. So we're looking at a pretty slow night again coming up for the boats that will be heading up toward Gray's Reef. And it does look like this is going to be a pretty slow race all in all. And just carrying on here now with the forecast a little bit. Actually, that's as far as this particular forecast goes. We're going to see that the winds remain light across the northern part of the lake, and we really don't see a lot of improvement until during the day on Monday. Going back to the tracker, this is for both the what we're looking at now, both the cruising and racing fleets. Let's turn off the racing fleets and just look pretty much at the cruisers. They're spread out between the Manitous and this area just off of Ludington at the moment. And as I said, they're going to be moving into lighter winds today initially, but then hopefully this lake breeze develops as forecast on the Michigan shore. So since most of the boats are over there, they should be able to benefit from that. Then looking at the racing fleets, we've got all those turned on at the moment. We do have what appears to be one boat that's retired and headed over to Wisconsin. This is Timberwolf. Otherwise, everyone appears to still be racing and turning off the cruising boats here. This is just the race fleet now. Our leaders are basically WindQuest, and followed closely by Il Mastro in the turbo class, and then we've got some boats spread out with the bulk of the racing fleet here just sort of northeast of Milwaukee. And again, there is some spread here, but most of the boats are trying to make their way over toward the Michigan side to kind of shorten up that distance. And again, we're expecting a lake breeze to develop up in this area here, so if they can get over to that Michigan side, they should do fairly well today. But the problem, of course, as I pointed out, looks like it could be tonight. where the winds are going to go very light up in this section here. So be another long night ahead, I think. So that's where everyone stands at the moment. We'll kind of update things here later today and see how the weather has evolved over the course of the day, and keep up to date by monitoring the Twitter.